I thought I'd come on and talk a little bit about women in business a little, and then internet. Because y'all are just so dumb. I'm just so fucking sick of all of you. You guys disgust me. Gary Vaynerchuk disgusts me. It's fucking nasty. It's fucking disgusting. The old way the algorithm worked was that you had to create a spider web where we have your page, your content, and then off your content, you would have likes or loves or whatever, right? Which gave your page weighted value to go be seen by people. So you would subscribe, you would advertise, which is how Facebook makes their money. That's how you have free platforms. However, if you don't spend thousands of dollars, you won't be seen by people unless you create a following somehow. Then from these likes, most people would like, and then they would comment, or if it was worthy, they would share it. Now the sharing is where you would get more of the spider web. And then the commenting created buzz. But you were also getting a weighted version of it, and they could feel the value in it to whether they wanted to show more people. And then it depended on how many followers you have. How many followers do you have? You have 500 followers, nobody's going to see it. However, you had 500 followers and all 500 of them were good, loyal followers and they shared your content, then you could go viral. However, the 500 followers didn't really understand the concept of it. And so they would be like, oh, how cute. When you're literally teaching them factual, physical evidence about essential oils. Oh, that's so cute. So then you had one follower that was really valuable, which was your mom. The rest of them were garbage. Anyway, then, let's see. Then you would have to compete with celebrity. So then you would have Reese Witherspoon or whoever else was a celebrity who had a page that instantly would have all these bots already liking them. However, they knew that if they had a page within 24 hours and that people, they would be able to platform it out for them on their Entertainment Tonight or Twitter or wherever else, everybody would go like them, like Ashton Kutcher. Then they became verified accounts. They were verified accounts because then they would also allow for Ashton Kutcher to have Ash Kutcher and then look as if it is him. However, his Hollywood publicity stunt would allow for bots to produce content to keep Ashton Kutcher's name in the spotlight. However, then real people would take over and then use it as a scam for innocent individuals who believed Ashton Kutcher might actually like them. And then they would say things like, this is my private account. I don't want anyone to know that this is my private account. However, you would report those pages and they would still be up and running. That's how dedicated they were and they are to the security system of the internet because they're way too focused on their own pocketbooks. But it was all the beginning stages of where we are headed and are in social media at this time. Not to mention what came later, which was what happened in the beginning was you would post pictures of you and your friends, and you wouldn't really care too much about what people thought. Oh, look what I'm doing. Look at what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. Look how fun this is. Oh, look at what such and such is doing. Oh, look what they're doing. I'm a love like that. Love, 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 love. You loved all the people's things. And then you were like, God, I don't feel like loving it, but I really like it. I 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 like it. You didn't have to hit the love button. You didn't have to hit the like button. Although it went from like to love. Love meant something, like meant something. And if you skipped it, it began to start to mean something. If you skipped it, you got a backstab. I know she looked at that post, and I know she purposely didn't like or love my post. Then you had people who were commenting gnarly comments when they were in fights in real life. Or they would sarcastically say, oh, that's nice. Or, okay. All words that meant something. However, as I look back on it, I don't really think it was us. It was Hollywood. It was influencers that made it mean something. So once again, we got bombarded by egotistical, psychotic individuals who were money mongrels, and nobody said anything. And don't get me started on the women, because when the women started doing home businesses with the MLM, and that started expanding, and somehow they would claim that their business online would grow, the first stage in the manipulation around online strategy and business. And then you have the women who got the microphone and would say, hey there, hi, hey. And then they would put their makeup on. Coded makeup. It was like coded. And then they would talk and they wouldn't even really say anything. Or you would have the MLM who would meet with people once a month for a class or a discussion around their business, on how to grow their business, or teach a class in association with their business. However, they never really got any business from it, nor were they really expanded out to a circle of people interested in the business, even if they paid for advertising. However, if you were a clique, you could convince the 1 or 10, you could do 1 to 10 of the people you invite that they could be part of your clique. And then that clique would help you grow your business, which is actually a really good business plan. However, the clique only used the clique to grow the clique and not the 1 through 10. Which is what Jack Muscle did and Audra Robinson did. Meaning she would come to our yoga studio and she would bring in lots of people because she was a manipulator and she'd done the landmark work and she used it as a manipulation. And then she would sign up all these people under her essential oils account and bypass Eileen, even though Eileen was paying for the space of location, even though Eileen was on her leg. Then she would comment at how she was going to help her, and then I got involved. Looking for people to bring to the parties. However, Eileen flew her out to Florida, where she introduced her to a yoga teacher who had no legs, who was in the Army, Dan Nevins, who had an opportunity for Eileen. However, she didn't even sign Dan Nevins up under Eileen. And it was dumb in his mind. Why didn't he sign up Eileen under Dan? Why didn't Dan say, I want to be on her leg? That's the question you must ask yourself, isn't it? We literally are Georgia, Florida, and we let a psychopath, she's a psychopath. She would sleep with people on airplanes, like a football player. I think she slept with a football player. And then she would tell people about oils on the airplane. Not in a generous way, but in a way that was malicious and manipulative. Always looking for her next score. Because the new age of the big O, orgasm, is not sex with them. It is the big score. then she would occur a certain way, as in, look at I'm a yoga teacher. You could look at me, I'm a CrossFitter. Look at my photographs. Look at my muscles. I love my dogs. Rub my arms. Cater to me. Care for me. I love you. Say that. This is a story I said to her. Tell me that one more time, chameleon. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Yeah, I had this dream last night, and my dad came to me in the dream and told me that I needed to be diamond. Double diamond. I'm already diamond, but I need to be double diamond. I'm sorry, but you have not even assisted me in growing my business, aside from inviting me to classes where you're assisting other people. Which is a way of business for women in business. And that's if women are in business. Meaning we got the meat and potatoes of the business over here, and everyone is continuously going to them. So I'm not really sure why this is happening. It doesn't make any sense. To the point where they even contacted me to steal my account from me. They wanted me out. So they took over my account, took my email out of my account, and now have my points in my essential oils that I paid for, and I got robbed again. That is women in business. With no care behind the interaction, no emotion attached to it. They just don't care. Same person. This is jacked muscle. This is examples of what you need to be looking out for. Same example, jacked muscle. Easiest client to work with in an organization. Manisha, all I had to do was email her once a week, show up to the thing on Saturday, pose, blah, 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 tell her that I was going to do a show. You better watch me, bitch. I'm going to do a show in 3 months. Sure enough, walk the runway, a warrior, blah, blah, blah. Eileen wants to open a new studio. We're like, okay, fine. I'm like, let me see. I've got this money. We'll do a business plan. Then we gave them factual numbers that were possible for us. They declined us. So then we put all of my life savings up since I was 14 years old for this studio to thrive. No one cared. Women in business. Now you want to get your responsibility in this. No one cared, meaning you don't care about anything. You want to get the concept versus the factual action of what's possible. However, why isn't it happening? Because of the Audra Robinsons, because of the Monavans, because the Gary Vaynerchuks support the Monavans, because the Dan Nevins support the Audra Robinsons. The only way a woman will be successful in business is if she has a man standing by her. Because now they're quoting, and I quote Monavan saying that women are expected to do everything in business, she says. I'm not sure what exactly you're speaking of, Mona, because you don't do nothing. You're literally watching a hypocrite in action. However, you're catering to her every need, Gary Vaynerchuk. You're catering to her every fucking need. I don't give a crap what's in the contract. You lost your self-respect. I don't care what you were trying to uncover. You lost your self-respect. Think about the day, which is a prime example of women in business. When we're standing at the VCon, and I'm watching on a video post VCon, by the way, as I'm rummaging from all over the location of being blocked from certain places, from being abused by the audience. Being abused by the audience, including your speakers, Mila Kunis. Not to mention the wackos who came up to me, try to have conversations with me, to interrupt my service. So you can investigate women in business and men in business. To creating a moment in time that will last a lifetime in the heads of VCon. Of you making out with another woman in front of your parents, in front of your sister, in front of the V community, stating your love for another woman. And you knowingly, as you like my post on Twitter, say that you know that I'm there. As you repetitively, along the course of the weekend, make out with her in front of everyone. And not just in a way that's like friendly, business-like assistance, where he's acting as if he's the lead of a kingdom. He's got her on his arm and holding hands with her like it's an entourage. Like he's in an entourage of society, of he should have been wearing a crown, and she should have been wearing a crown as well. As she states on her Instagram or her TikTok page that her only thing she had to worry about while going to VCon was what she was going to wear. Not to mention, as they leave VCon, they travel to Germany, they travel to California, and they travel all over the country, even Vegas, I do believe. Look at me and how cool I am. Look at me, how cool I am, women in business. Not to mention the white party planted purposeful videos, purposeful clothing, purposeful pictures in hopes that I would see Gary Vaynerchuk. Not to mention the purposeful pictures where she's specifically wearing outfits to catch herself in positions where you're there. You're there the whole way, you're there. Looking all joyful and gleeful in Miami on her birthday. Looking joyful and gleeful in Qatar. Looking joyful and gleeful in the Cannes. Looking joyful and gleeful in Turkey as you tell everyone how you were just in Turkey for 2 weeks, traveling with your family. Everywhere he is, there she is. However, he shows you a picture, a video of him making out with her. However, he then goes on to a podcast and says in front of, and I don't care what your name is, who gives a fuck? Yeah, I'd rather not talk about my personal life. So letting you know that I was on a reality show. Literally letting you know that everything that she does, I do. However, she doesn't really do it. She just pretends to do it. Meaning he's creating a model mode of all my content in the form of what you want to see. However, it's not working out too well for you, is it, Gary Vaynerchuk? Women in business, Democratic Party involved, and he agreed. Because the funny thing about her is that she thinks I'm jealous of her. That's the funny part about all of this. I could grab her hair, smash her face into the concrete over and over again and get complete joy out of it. And I would do it if I ever saw her face in real life. Meaning I have a rage that comes out of me that is so intense that I oftentimes cannot control it. Even when I stood up there in front of the community, as I was getting my picture taken, attempts to mutilate, violate me, and abuse me were being created. However, it really didn't hurt that bad. That's the CIA at work. So instead, what Gary Vaynerchuk decided to do to purify himself and to take the easy road and choose Monavand. Because there were promises to him that he would buy the jets. And that's the choice that you made for yourself. Instead of do the real work to get the real work completed. To live the life of integrity and morality. So instead, you chose the wrong route, which is why you're in this situation at this time. Got to be careful what I say here on YouTube. You know, since I don't have very many followers, they will likely ban me here too. Meaning there's not a safe space exactly for me to create the content that's necessary for the evolution of society. They would rather have Kim Kardashians and Monavands looking like trash heaps, promoting ill-behaved women to ill-behaved men, to ill-behaved children, or to good children. What's that movie with Sleeper Time or whatever that movie is? That little brat in that movie? That one is your future psycho. And she's only, what, 11? The new age of children in acting is, oh, let me help you with that. And then instead of actually helping him, she jumps onto his back. And so now dad's doing double work. And that is a evolutionized version of Mona. And that's what Gary Vaynerchuk is supporting. Now, what else we have is an opportunity for you to take a look at is that you also want to know that you can have people and organizations who are literally out to stop you. Meaning they will create bots and behaviors that will create energy exchange. So anytime you have a like, love, or you skip it, there's an energy exchange that is experienced through the creator and the content commenter. in mass quantities of numbers, it feels a certain way. However, because you're so lack of self-awareness and you were basically a money hopper, you were not aware that it was going on until later on when I exposed everything. However, underlining issues is you started creating an attitude that's so toxic and destructive to the planet that you literally were destroying the planet and human nature as we know it, which is why we have bikini models and all the rest standing on stages known as TikTok. You want to also get that TikTok as a evolution became a grounds for Democratic Party and advancement in politics. They also had an opportunity for China, the toxic side of China, to dumb down an already dumbed down society, which then created millennials at the top. Well, Gary Vaynerchuk says that you're a millennial and you're not lazy. However, in another breath, he says, I worked my ass off working at my dad's liquor store. The joy of life is work. When you get in the right place, then you've got millennials saying that the boomer generation is the toxic work environment. However, the boomer generation isn't the toxic work environment. It's the millennial generation and the Gen Z generation that is the toxic work environment. But that's the narrative the Democrats want to paint because this is what Hitler said, if you control the youth, you control the country. Not only did we have parents handing cell phones to this youthful generation, they didn't learn how to have exchanges in human experiences because education shifted. So not only are they dumb, they're money mongrels, and they have toxic morality like Mr. Beast, who abuses cows and thinks it's funny. And then attempts to close down restaurants like Burger King, a integral company that did battle McDonald's in the beginning, but they leveled it all out and were able to thrive next to each other successfully. Realizing that business as an opportunity, there was plenty to go around. Then you had the community known as Black Lives Matter, having people get down on their knees. Please forgive us for what? I didn't do nothing to you. However, then you had Mona Van and Kim Kardashian acting as if they were better than you, and equal rights is a concern over there. However, the word black attached to Lives Matter is the concern because only their lives matter. Our lives don't matter. Gary Vaynerchuk's lives matter because he's got $200 million and millions of followers. However, our lives don't matter because we are not on the internet or we don't have any followers. So they're basically living up to a societal norm that's a facade. However, you buy into the facade on a regular daily basis. Whether you go into the grocery store, whether you go to an event, meaning you may go to a concert like Alesso or Kygo, and you might feel demonic behavior occurring within the location. That's coming from Hailey Bieber and her lack of morality, her inability to ground herself, and what she does is she loves to listen to the demon voices. Sexual seduction. The look at me. Singing so loud that no one can hear Kygo, which then distracts the whole entire stadium, which then distracts Kygo. And then they think they're cool. And it may be an unspoken, but it's definitely known that something weird is going on here. And then they go home and say, well, Kygo didn't seem didn't feel the same. Or they start thinking it's a seduction. So not only was Gary Vaynerchuk going to countries, but he was going out to dinner with her. He was going to concerts. He was doing all kinds of fun things with her. Likely looking in my Spotify playlist. Attempting to mirror every ounce of action that I do in hopes to capture his attention. Which worked. Obviously, in the viewing of what you see in Qatar as they travel across the country once again to Melt, where she doesn't even wear a traditional hijab to a Middle Eastern conference, which is a necessary addition to your Melt conference, unless you're a money mongrel. However, you always allow their energy into the space because you live in the Be Kind movement. And the Be Kind movement is just the secret suppression society of what the Democrats are up to. The Be Kind movement is a way to get the good people to back down. I don't know why you're acting like that. Be kind. I'm sleeping with your boyfriend. Be kind. Last night we went to Kygo. Be kind. I'm spending all of your money. Be kind. I'm traveling to Qatar and I'm going to hold up platters looking like a server just like you. Be kind. I'm going to take a photograph just like you while your boyfriend is going to pick me up and we're going to go to another conference. Be kind. Now, the whole concern about this whole thing is not the fact that the hoe is stealing all of my content. It's the fact that Gary Vaynerchuk is allowing her to post videos of him as I watch him make out with her constantly in every photograph that they take together. Be kind. Oh. 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 Nuzzling each other in the face. Him acting so cool as he spouts off things like posturing. Be kind. Optimism. Be patient. Be friends. Well, you know, what do you think about the Be Kind movement? Be kind. Well, you know, I actually sawed Cassandra's legs off and stuff, but yeah, be kind. Oh, I'm so in love with Mona. She's so wonderful. Be kind. You do know what she did, right? She slept with that guy in Cannes. Be kind. We do what we want. It's called the Be Kind movement. It's where I can do whatever I want and you don't get to do anything you want. Black Lives Matter. We like the Black people to think that they're going to get some freedom around being Black, but I'm going to tell you right now that's not going to happen. Be kind. Oh, I hate white people, the Black Lives Matter team says. I'm not sure why. I cleaned your teeth. Erling Griffin, a true representation of what the Black Lives Matter community is up to, which is taking out people like Kanye West, Will Smith. But you know, Will, you be kind. You be kind over there. Erling doesn't want to, she doesn't want to work and she doesn't want to give good customer service. So we're going to just let her do whatever she wants. And we're even going to let her take money from Zelda. Because we're in a new age here where you can do whatever you want. There is no laws. We are getting rid of the police. We have taken out the only man on this country that is up to good things, which is Donald. And now we have a guy who's being, let's just talk about this for a second. What's his name? The guy that can't speak and they have to use a computer who literally got voted in. And if you're in that state, and I don't remember what state it is, if you're in that state and you voted for that, that is insanely hilarious. That's pathetic. It's like so funny. So the only thing at this point that we can do is we can only just sit back and watch, because they ain't gonna do nothing. Gary Vaynerchuk has made his fucking decision. I literally will be purchasing a gun and I will be hunting his ass down, and you better say goodbye. Because that's the side of me that you don't know about. Be kind. Be kind, everyone. Be kind. I can guarantee you, in a logical world that we supposedly live in, that the encounters of what was going on this last 2 years have not been kind to me. And I'm talking about what Gary Vaynerchuk has been up to. I am waiting for the new world war to begin. I'm the one that initiated the Russian war. I said it is time. They are not abiding by laws and regulations. However, the United States is putting sanctions on them. Now, the United States needs some sanctions. However, you just sit there and do nothing. You do nothing. We have a military that you can take into the White House to take these fools out. Force your hand, which is what Lincoln had to do. However, my hands are tied, because we've got TikTok in control with the Monavan Vandy clan and Gary Vaynerchuk. And then on YouTube here, we've got another set of psychotics who are now bombarding us with commercials. Don't get me started, Mark Zuckerberg, on what you're fucking up to. Literally showing us toxic acts of humanity where people are literally doing it. Sexual acts on TikTok, and Gary Vaynerchuk is one of them. That's how disgusting this is. Literally go onto the Instagram page and you could fucking watch him. You wanna... You want to take a look at that.